time when Kane became corporate. Hello everyone, and this is Mikeratto, and welcome to a new video. Well, subscribe now to be updated on my videos. Like this video, comment below, and share for more recommendations and answer on my polls for the next videos that I could make. Well, for today, we're going to talk about Kane being corporate. While he became corporate Kane in 2013, the story was he was taken out by the Wyatt family. While he was defeated in the Ring of Fire match, the Wyatt family take him out. He was gone for weeks or months, which when he returned, he attacked the Wyatts, then he fought the Miz the next night. Then he cut a promo against Stephanie McMahon, which at first many believed that it could be his new rivalry. But in turn, while he just turned heel, he gave Stephanie the mask, and this was the birth of Corporate Kane. Corporate Kane, when he debuted, while he was in a suit, which is unusual for Kane the character now, while before also, which he never take this new character, and people say that he's just a monster. When he took this corporate role, he is more calm and he is doing what's best for business, and that's what their motto was for the authority. And their first rivalry for that time when Kane became corporate was against the Big Show because he's fighting Randy Orton for the WWE Championship, and Kane became Director of Operations, which Kane makes matches left and right. He wears a suit and a mask, then later on updated his attire from what he wore in his mask. He unmasked and then he wore this corporate pants instead of this usual attire that he mostly wear during his mask. And then while the demeanor has been changed from him, he's not that much angry anymore compared to his monster self. While the monster redeemed him, while he said that it is still on him, but in television, well, it shows less and less there if the people are actually taking notice of that. And Kane also, well, sometimes he doesn't enter with a pyro, like usually mostly of his entrance during those times. While in 2013, he was still entering with a pyro when he was masked. And when he's on his corporate role, he doesn't use that much pyro. Well, the pyro comes sometimes, but it's not always. Yeah, it is also noticeable that time. And yeah, Kane also, well, he fought with CM Punk, which, well, this was Punk's last feud before leaving the company on the Royal Rumble event. Well, the feud discontinued due to Punk leaving. And while Corporate Kane, he feuded with Daniel Bryan. After, well, the authority is more on Daniel Bryan now, well, because Daniel Bryan is getting over and the rivalry is still continuing, it's on and off. Well, because Bryan just feuded with the Wyatts and then he turned again his feud to the authority, which, while he focused himself on the WWE Championship and the authority is trying to stop him. The first stage was that Kane is putting over Daniel Bryan. While most of his time he spent this time to put over talents, that's why he keeps on losing on television. Which, well, people may say also that this character is one of his most weakest forms. Well, yeah, but in terms of personality, it's a new change, it's an evolution. Just like when The Undertaker has his American badass persona, Kane has his corporate persona himself. And sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. Sometimes he's serious, while when he's serious, his demeanor changes into this monster type. Like when he chokeslams someone, his previous self, his monster self is showing in his corporate normal state. So yeah, it was also noticeable. When he was fighting with Daniel Bryan, well, they have series of matches left and right. And it also had a casket match to notice. And later on, while they feuded with the Shield before WrestleMania, while the Shield just turned face after attacking Corporate Kane, while they disobeyed Corporate Kane's orders to attack Jerry Lawler. And in that match at Mania, well, it's just a squash match, which the Shield defeated the New Age Outlaws and Kane. And then while Kane reverted back into his monster self, which people, well, he returned with the mask. He destroyed Daniel Bryan when he returned. Well, it's the dominant Kane that we all know and love before. But, well, he was still part of the authority. And just like during his corporate state persona, it is more on putting over talents such as Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Daniel Bryan. Even Seth Rollins benefited on this monster Kane, well, because he's helping Seth Rollins in his matches, in his feuds, which is also noticeable. Which one later, while he reverts back into this corporate Kane, well, because he doesn't have the same, well, the same thing as his previous monster state was. And well, that's what I think. And I'm not sure about the storyline perspective during that time when he unmasked and then he remasked and then he unmasked yet again. And then later when he actually unmasked, well, he's again the corporate Kane, which the director of operations, which he spent time doing the authority deeds. Well, it's morely his character is putting over talents, and he fought with the guys like Ryback, Dolph Ziggler, and a lot of guys who are baby faces in the roster. Sometimes it is a mid-guard guy, sometimes it's John Cena, Roman Reigns, or Dean Ambrose. Well, yeah. Also, they had this memorable Survivor Series match, which Team Cena wins. What happens to Kane? Well, there are a lot of things for the authority that happened. Well, there's a comedy segment of concessions Kane, which while WWE made him sell this concessions product, and the WWE hot dogs, popcorns with the segment with Ryback, if someone remembered that segment. And yeah, he was feuding with a lot of talents during this time. And in 2015, while Kane and the Big Show were also one in the last four participants in the Royal Rumble before Roman Reigns actually won that match, which the crowd turned on the Royal Rumble because, well, they want Daniel Bryan to win, and most of their top favorites were actually eliminated by Kane and the Big Show during that time, and people find it obvious that Roman Reigns will win. And when the three only in the ring were actually, well, seen on television, while the crowd start on turning, they hate the match, they want Daniel Bryan, they beg for him because while he was eliminated early, they want him to win the Rumble, but unfortunately things doesn't happen as we want to during that time. And while the crowd turned on Roman Reigns, and then after that, while Kane goes back again and do the authority deeds, and he was on the Andre the Giant Memorial, which while he competed, which was won by the Big Show. And then after that, while Kane was involved in the Extreme Rules match between Seth Rollins and Randy Orton, which while people are actually being teased of a face turn by his, which later came when his face turn happened. While Kane during this corporate time, it's morely on putting over talent and elevating them and doing what's best for business. That is their motto, which while talents benefited from actually experiencing the ring with a legend himself, while Kane was so selfless that he doesn't actually mind those losses. And yeah, we saw a new side of Kane which was not seen before, a calm self instead of this raging monster, choke slamming people from left to right when he actually has the most dominant self, though we want that persona for him to always shine through. And yeah, his last appearance as the corporate self, while last two appearance was one, while before his feud with Seth Rollins, he was actually appearing on corporate and the other Kane role, which was a monster. Which well, the monster Kane was lose on Seth Rollins, which the stipulation was if Kane lose that match, corporate Kane, well, he was actually removed from the corporate role, which we seen the last of that character, but he made a special appearance on 2016, just a segment, well it's a funny segment regardless, which well he appeared on that segment and he made this funny segment when they're finding the GMs for SmackDown and Raw. Well, for this character, he is well calm, funny, comedic sometimes, while he is a threat and sometimes talent. Actually, well, they need a stepping stone to their main event status, and some legends give themselves to the talents for them to actually put them more over, for the crowds to more appreciate them. Talents such as Kane during 2013 up to 2018 and most of some of his career were spent on putting over talents. Triple H when he actually took the part-time schedule and actually in his 2013 to 2019 self, he is more on losing to talents, but when he win once, well it's just for the match, well to elevate more storyline. And Big Show also, he lose to a lot of guys in the main roster, and also well guys like well a lot of like John Cena during his last appearances in the WWE. While he takes some L's to give back to the talent, even being squashed by The Undertaker at WrestleMania 34. Well, here's the video for the corporate Kane. Well, I hope you all like it. Subscribe now for more videos. Like, comment down below, and share. Subscribe. And again, this is Mikeratto, and I hope you're having a good day, and peace.